Hari Bol, Hari Bol. My Dandavat pranams, Hare Krishna to everybody. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Today, most auspicious day, 23rd of May, Thursday, Purnima, 2024. So there's a number of appearance and disappearance days today. So we'll speak briefly on those personalities, and then we'll proceed to our Jaiva dharma. So we'll have a kirtan first, and then we'll continue. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Aradhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prashtaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshaviti Namine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Brinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, oh Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaura Hare Bol, Nitai Gaura Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaura Hare Bol, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai. Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Nityananda Rai, Jaya Nityananda Rai, Jaya Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachinandan, Jaya Gaura Hari, O Jaya Radha, Madana Mohan Radha, Madana Mohan Radhe, Jai Radha, Madana Mohan Radha, Madana Mohan Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, oh Radhe, 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 Radhe. Jai Shishi Guru Garanga Ganhavika Giridhari Radha Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Brishabala Nandini Vajeshwari Radharani Ki Jai Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai Satchinandana Gaurahari Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Surabhi Kunj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarazara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaura Kishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Vedanta Acharya Ki Jai Jai Srila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Treya Ki Jai Jai Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shivata Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Paradasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai Jai Swarup Damodar Rai Ramananda Gauda Parasadi Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sigaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Antadvip Mayapur Simantadvip Gautranadvip Madhyadvip Koladvip Ritujip Janadvip Motandvip Rududvip Atmaka Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopiko Govardhan Dwadasa Varmatmika Shri Braja Mandal Ki Jai Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund Ganga Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani Ki Jai Shrimati Yogamaya Purnamasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai Shri Gopishwa Mahadev ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki jai, Ketra Mandal ki jai, Sarva Vigna Vinashtakari Shina Shingadev Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakta Pravara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Charidam ki jai, Chari Sampradaya ki jai, Chari Acharya ki jai, Akara Mataraj Shri Chaitanya Mat ki jai, Shri Keshav Ji Gaudiya Mat ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Anantakota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Agina Timirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shwabadantikam Priya Surupe, Daita Surupe, Prema Surupe, Sahajabi Rupe, Nijana Rupe, Prabhueka Rupe, Tatana Rupe, Swabila Surupe, Anapita Chirim Chirat Kurunavartino Kalo, Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam, Hari Purata Sundarata Digatamba Sadipita, Sadahradare Kandare Spuratu Vasachinandanaha, Yam Pravajantamanapeti Krityam Dvaipaino Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putre Titam Mayatayo Taravobinidus Tam Sarvabhutam Munim Hridim Munimanatoshmi Bhaktiya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptascha Karma Ditarangamadye Kripa Mayitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurashmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Baradram Tato Mamanasti Katina Kapi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaivina Iti Vignaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam. And first of all, offering millions and millions of Dandava Pranams unto the lotus feet of my most beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasdara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again, millions and millions of times, unto the lotus feet of our most beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasdara Shishimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And I'm offering the same again to our dear most Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namane Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate, and to our illustrious Rupanuga Guru Vargya and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavi devotees of the Lord. My Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vansha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubevacha patitanam papnibhyo Vaishnave namo namaha. So today is an extraordinary, auspicious day. It's the day after Nrsimha Chaturdasi, and there's a festival in Puri called Shalila Vihara, Salila Virhara, and it's at Narendra Sarovar. If any of you have been there, it's just behind the Jagannath temple and behind the Nrsimhadev temple. And it's the first place where the Bengali devotees who would be traveling in their large groups from Navadvip to be with Mahaprabhu for the 4 months of the rainy season, sometimes they would meet Mahaprabhu at Narendra Sarovar. There's a description in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And on this day of the Salila Vihara is when Jagannath Dev and Madan Mohan are on a beautiful boat, and they're being pulled and pushed around the lake for their divine pleasure. And Mahaprabhu sometimes would meet the devotees here, and they would enjoy wonderful sporting pastimes as well. So this day of this festival is what we're remembering and celebrating today. And also, it's the appearance day of Radha Raman. Radha Raman, this world-famous, most exquisite, charming, beautiful, very small, manifesting from a shellagram through the fervent prayers and heart's desire of Gopal Bhatta Goswami when he collected these shellograms, but he was seeing that all his associates in Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath, so many personalities, Jiva Goswami, they were having murti forms to celebrate the beautiful Julan festivals and the other various Mahotsav festivals that would take place. So Gopal Bhatta was desiring that he had a deity that he could decorate and dress and place nicely on a Julan, etc. So in the night, his largest of shellograms, it manifested into the most beautiful form of Radharaman. And he has beautiful conch shell eyes, and he's worshipped with great devotion today in a wonderful temple there, the Radharaman Mandir in Vrindavan. So this is the appearance day of Radharaman. This is the day when he manifested his beautiful Rajendranandan Sham Sundar form from that shellogram. So we're remembering this deity today. We're remembering Gopal Bhatta Goswami today and this festival. Also, it's the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri. Now, we really need 2 or 3 hours to describe the glories of Madhavendra Puripad, the Prem Ankur, the beginning, the seed of Bhav Bhakti in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And this is the Sampradaya that Mahaprabhu adopted, we can say. And Madhavendra Puri, he was the first personality to be exhibiting these very high stages of Bhav Bhakti. And then from him, of course, is coming what's described as the next stage, is the sapling from the seed, which is Ishvara Puri. Then Ishvara Puri, of course, is the instructing spiritual master of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Madhavendra Puripad had a most glorious history and pastimes that were performed. He followed a vow called Ayachaka, which means that he would never beg from people. He would never request people to give him anything. He was totally dependent on the Lord. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parapasate. Whatever the Lord provided, he would accept. And if the Lord didn't provide, he would happily just remain fasting. So then there's a very beautiful description of his sitting in Govardhan, and he's given a pot of milk by a beautiful cowherd boy. The cowherd boy says he's going to return. He returns late in the night when Madhavendra Puri is resting. And Madhavendra Puri has a dream. And in his dream, he sees that same cowherd boy that gave him some milk. I'm telling this in such short sutra form because we want to come to our Jaiva Dharma study today also. So he's requested to go and unearth the Gopal deity, which has been hidden from the Muslims, the invaders, the Turkish soldiers. So in the morning he goes with a crowd of villagers into the jungle, and straight away they find the beautiful Gopal form. And then they take him out and they perform many Anukut festivals, beautiful offerings of mountains of rice, halava, bakoras, etc. Huge, very opulent festivals. And then one wealthy merchant from Mathura builds him a temple in Govardhan, and he's worshipped there for a number of years. But then again that deity requests Madhavendra Puri that he's still hot from being buried for so long under the ground, and he wants his body cooling with chandan, with sandalwood pulp from Jagannath Puri. So again, this is the second time now that Madhavendra Puri is having the direct order from Gopal. And then he goes to Jagannath Puri. On the way to Jagannath Puri, he stops in Remuna and he observes the beautiful kheer offering that's being given to Gopinath. And he wants to, in his mind, would like to taste a little bit of that so that he can offer that beautiful aromatic kheer to Gopal. But then he chastises himself that why is he thinking to taste Takoji's boga when before it's even been offered properly. So he leaves the temple and chastens himself, thinking that he has thought incorrectly. But during the night, the pujari of Gopinath is woken up and told that he's hidden a bowl, one pot of the kheer under his skirts, and he should take it. He should go into the deity room now, take it, and find Madhavendra Puri, who's sitting in the marketplace, and give it to him. So the pujari does like this and takes this pot of kheer into the marketplace and is calling out for Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri shows himself, and then he gives him the pot of kheer and says, "This is amazing. Gopinath has stolen directly this pot of kheer just for you." So Madhavendra Puri is, of course, in ecstasy at this mood of the Lord's reciprocation with him in his heart's desire. So he takes that with great relish, with the intention of making the same preparation for Gopal. This is his intention. So after he's taken that, he leaves the marketplace very early in the morning to avoid any crowds, because he thinks that people will come and glorify him for hearing that Gopinath has stolen a pot of sweet rice. So then he makes his way to Jagannath Puri and he collects the sandal, but it's described that even though he avoided the crowds in Ramuna, when he reaches Jagannath Puri, word has gone ahead of this great miracle that's happened, that Gopinath has stolen the pot of sweet rice. So Gopinath now becomes called Kirchor Gopinath, that Gopinath who stole the kheer. So all the residents of Jagannath Puri, they all begin to glorify and honor Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri takes advantage of that to secure the sandal and chandan, and then he's given two servants to carry it back to Vrindavan, and he has the papers to cross through the various tolls of the Muslim borders that he has to cross. But when he reaches Ramuna the second time, carrying this chandan and sandal, then he dances ecstatically in front of Gopinath, the deity there. And then that night he has another dream. This is the third dream he's having. And Kirchor Gopinath comes in that dream and says, "Gopal and myself are the same, we're non-different. So you grind all this sandal here now, and you place on my body, and this will cool your Gopal in Vrindavan." So Madhavendra Puri is ecstatic to hear that. Krishna always loves his devotees, and because it was difficult for Madhavendra Puri to go through all the different toll gates, etc. So Krishna arranged for him just to stay those 4 months of the rainy season and put all the chandan paste over the body of Gopinath. Then he returns to his Gopal deity afterwards. And then he secures very good pujaris there. So eventually Madhavendra Puri actually comes to Ramuna ultimately to leave his body. But today is the Appearance Day. We're celebrating the Appearance Day of Madhavendra Puri. When Madhavendra Puri was leaving this world, he was chanting a very famous verse, "Ai dina dayadrinatahe, maturanath kadavalokyate, hridayam tvad aloka kataram, hridayam taram, dayata brahmyate kim karamyaham." He says, oh my Lord, where are you? Where are you? How can I render service to you? Kinkaram. He's just wanting to give to the Lord. And he's remembering when Sri Radhika, in her separation from Krishna, when Krishna leaves her, after the Ras Leela, Krishna has pacified Sri Radhika and then walked with her through many beautiful forests. And then Radhika's saying that she's tired. And Krishna says, well, sit on my shoulder. When Radhika goes to sit on Krishna's shoulder, Krishna disappears. And at that time, Sri Radhika chants this verse, Hey Nata Ramana Preshta, Kwasi Kwasi Mahapuja, Dasyam Te Hridayam Uktam, Saki Darshayam Sanidim. So Madhavendra Puri, he's remembering this verse and he's chanting this similar verse. Ai dina dayadinathe, Mathuranath Varakayokate. So the exact translation of that verse, I'll give it to you afterwards. Ai dina dayadrinatahe. It's a very beautiful verse. He's saying, O you whose heart is most merciful to the wretched, O Master, O Lord of Mathura, when will I have your darshan? O Lord of my life, because I cannot see you, my heart has become agitated. What shall I do now? This kinkaram, this mood of being like a kinkari, a servant, a maidservant of Sri Radhika. So this was the final meditation of Madhavendra Puri when he left this world. So we're remembering Madhavendra Puri, so many different pastimes, I've said in a summarized way as much as possible, but we can just remember all the specialities of Madhavendra Puri today. So Madhavendra Puri Pad Ki Jai. And it's also the appearance day of Srinivasacharya. Srinivasacharya never had darshan directly of Sachinandan Gaurahari. He took his birth in 1520. Mahaprabhu leaves in 1534. And when he was growing up, he would hear about Mahaprabhu and long to go and meet him. And he would be associating with the devotees from Srikand. And one great devotee there called Narahari Shakar. Narahari Shakar is the brother of Mukunda Shakar, whose son is Raghunandan. So they all live in Srikand. And Srinivasacharya would take shelter of Narahari at that time. And then Narahari was instructing him to quickly go to Puri because Mahaprabhu was about to wind up his pastimes, his earthly pastimes. But just before he reached Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu had left this world. And Srinivasacharya was overwhelmed with grief and suffering. But he had darshan of Gadadhar Pandit and was requesting to see his Srimad Bhagavatam, his famous Srimad Bhagavatam. But his Bhagavatam had been so much of it washed out with tears. So Gadadhar requested him to bring him a new copy. So he went to get the copy, a fresh copy of that Bhagavatam. But while he was away for a few days, Gadadhar left this world. So again he was bereft. And it seems that all of the different devotees that he was trying to get darshan of, Srinivas kept missing. Srinivas was in his birth, his father's names was Chaitanya Das. Originally his father's name was Gangadas Bhattacharya, but he was there when Mahaprabhu had his beautiful hair shorn off in Katwa, and he became so distracted and distraught, he was raging around for many days fasting, and everyone thought that he'd just gone mad. But his nishta for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was incredibly strong. And some years later, he had a desire, came in his heart to have a son. And him and his wife, Lakshmi Devi, they requested Mahaprabhu. They went to Jagannath Puri and requested Mahaprabhu for a son. And Mahaprabhu benedicted them, yes, you will have a son. And then this is Srinivasacharya. Srinivasacharya was that son of Chaitanya Das. So Chaitanya Das missed the darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he had the darshan of Gadadhar. And then he tried to go to Vrindavan. He went to Vrindavan. After he'd been to Navadvip, he went on parikrama with Ishan Thakur, the servant of Sachimata. He did a parikrama of Navadvip, And then he went to Vrindavan, but he stopped in Prayag on the way and Varanasi on the way. And when he reached Vrindavan, Rupa and Sanatan had already left. But he took shelter of Jiva Goswami. His initiating guru is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. This is his guru. He wanted to take initially Diksha mantras from Narahari Saka, who was in his place of birth where he was growing up. But Narahari Saka understood that actually Gopal Bhatta is your eternal guru. So he came there, he took his initiation from Gopal Bhatta, and then he was in the ashram of Jiva Goswami. And then along with Narottam and Shyamananda, the three of them were studying with Jiva Goswami. And then there's the very famous pastime of when the three of them were ordered by Jiva Goswami to carry all the books of the Goswamis, including the Chaitanya Charitamrita, across to Bengal to distribute to the Bengali devotees and support Mahaprabhu's mission in Bengal. But on the way in Vishnupur, the cart was stolen by one king, Viraham Vira, and Srinivas was the oldest of the three between Narottam and Shyamananda. He was completely distraught at having the books stolen. This is a long story, but I'm just capsulating it, just giving it in sutra form. And Narottam went north to Keturi, which was his home place, and Shyamananda began preaching in Orissa. And then Srivas, he stayed there and eventually discovered the books from the king Virhamvira, and he made his whole family devotees, and they all took initiation from him. And then he began preaching extensively in Bengal, and he had hundreds of thousands of followers and disciples. They would perform their preaching through kirtan, principally. So Srinivasacharya was an excellent kirtaniya, as well as a greatly acknowledged scholar. And Narottam also was a great kirtaniya, as well as a scholar, and Shyamananda was the same. So they were the second generation, we can say, of Mahaprabhu's wave or current of mercy to the conditioned souls. So Srinivasacharya, he is a very prominent personality who perpetuated the mission of Mahaprabhu. So this is Srinivasacharya also. He wrote the Sad Goswami Astakam, this Krishna Kirtana Gana Natarabi, the beautiful Sad Goswami Astakam that we sing regularly. And in his spiritual identity, he's Mani Manjari. So this is his identity. So this is very brief about Srinivas Acharya, and we're celebrating his appearance day today. Srinivasacharya Ki Jai. And also today is the disappearance day of Parameshwari. Parameshwara or Parameshwara or Parameshwari, he's called both names, is described as one of the fifth limbs of the trunk trees, the tree of Mahaprabhu's preaching. And he very much supported Nityananda Prabhu. He's one of the Dwadasa Gopals. In Krishna Leela, he's Arjun Saka, not Arjun of Krishna and Krishna in Kurukshetra, but in Vrindavan. So Arjun Saka. He's a Priyanam Saka of Nityananda Prabhu. So he would be traveling with Nityananda throughout Bengal during all his preaching efforts and supported fully. He was in Keturi for the wonderful festival of Narottam when they celebrated the first main Gaur Punim celebration, when Janava Mata was also present at that festival. So Parameshwara is described being there. He would also previously go to the Rath Yatra festivals in Jagannath Puri with all the devotees from Bengal, and would take part in that Rath Yatra festival along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all those elevated personalities in Jagannath Puri. And when Nityananda Prabhu leaves this world, then Parameshwari, he serves devotedly Janava Mata. He carries deities across to Vrindavan on the order of Janava Mata, and he helps in so many ways supporting the Vaishnavas and the spreading of the mission of Mahaprabhu. He has his Shripat place is Antapur or Antpur or Atpur. It's described differently, the different pronunciations of the name. And there, his ashram is there, and you can go there today. It's just on the edge of Calcutta, on the north of Calcutta. It's called in the Hooghly district. And he has a beautiful ashram there. He had no family descendants, but his brother had many family dependents, and it's his family dynasty that are still running that particular temple today. And there's a very amazing pastime about him that took place there. In that the place of that temple actually originally was a dense forest, a jungle, and it was filled with dacoits. And Parameshwara was a very powerful personality, and he fearlessly built his ashram within that forest, that jungle, to purify those dacoits. That was his intention. And one time he was dancing in kirtan with many associates there, and these envious dacoits, they threw a dead fox into the kirtan party, and the Vaishnavas, they just ignored it. But Parameshwara, he saw the dead fox and felt compassion for that fox and brought it back to life. Actually, it's a jackal, not a fox, but it's fox, and jackals look like foxes in the Western world, but it's a jackal. So the jackal he brought back to life, and then he made the jackal chant Hare Krishna. And the news of this reached all the dacoits, and they became really afraid of Parameshwara, at the same time totally respectful towards him. So this was a miracle that is still talked about today in that ashram. And there's a beautiful painting of that pastime in the ashram there. So today we're celebrating Parameshwara, Arjun Saka in Vrindavan, great stalwart Vaishnava, and Gopal, one of the Dwadasa Gopals of Nityananda Prabhu. So Parameshwara Prabhu ki jai, Gold Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. So we've discussed all those exalted personalities to give us inspiration on our path of bhakti and our desire to understand the teachings of Sachinandan Gaurahari. So now we're coming to our Jaiva Dharma. We have about 25-30 minutes left. So we're on page 831 of the Falshruti. Jaiva Dhamma Pateshe Shura Bhakti Hoy, Jaiva Dhamma Napadile Kabe Bhakti Noy. One who reads Jaiva Dhamma with faithful deliberation will surely attain Shuddha Bhakti. But one who does not read Jaiva Dhamma can never attain Bhakti. And we've understood in the 17th chapter, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling us that only by association with the Shuddha Bhaktas can one attain this Bhakti. So by chanting their glories today, Madhavendra Puripad, Srinivasacharya, Parameshwari, by chanting the glories of these personalities, remembering these personalities, this is as if we are associating with those personalities. We're begging for the mercy of all those personalities. We're begging for the mercy of Madhavendra Puri, Srinivasacharya, and Parameshwari. And of course, Radharamandev. We're begging for their mercy today. And this mercy is a very real, tangible experience that can manifest for the jiva. So we are doing that to the best of our ability. Arupa nuga abhiman pate drita hoy, Jaiva Dhamma vimukake dharma hinekoi. Faithfully reading Jaiva Dhamma will surely strengthen one's abhiman as a Rupanuga, follower of Rupa Goswami. One who is averse to reading Jaiva Dhamma is certainly devoid of religious principles. As soon as we say Rupanuga, this means the entire Guru Vargya, the entire Guru Varg, the entire line coming from Rupa Goswami all the way through. We chant 2, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, the personalities who are carrying this current of bhakti directly from Sachinandan Gaurahari, who is giving us this path of Rag Marga, which never there previously to Mahaprabhu's advent. So they are very careful, and they're all manjaris, as we said many times before. So this line, this Rupanuga line, is so exemplary. It's so sacred and special. So as many opportunities a day to chant all these personalities, to chant them all, first thing in the morning, perhaps midday, evening time, we're remembering all of these Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Narottam, Srinivas, Shyamananda, all these personalities, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Srila Gokishore Das Babaji, all of these personalities are capsulated when we say Rupanuga, a follower of Rupanuga, a follower of Rupa Goswami. We're remembering all of these personalities. One who is averse to reading Jaiva Dharma is certainly devoid of religious principles, because these are pure religious principles, focusing on the Nitya Prem, the 5th Purusartha. And we've already dispelled we've rejected the idea of Dharma, Artha, Karma, Moksha. This has been left behind, these original 4 Purusarthas, and we're only accepting this 5th Purusartha. Java Jivane Je Pade Jaiva Dharma Bhakti Manse Janabrita Jnana Karma. One who faithfully reads Jaiva Dharma throughout his entire life will be endowed with bhakti and will surely realize the futility of jnana and karma. So we can make a resolve to read this throughout our entire life. We approach this with the mood that yes, this is an eternal shastra. It's describing eternal topics and bringing us to that eternal realm. So how can we neglect it if our desire is to be liberated completely from this material Mayic world and be reunited in seva to the divine couple, Radha and Krishna, which is the last verse here. Krishnara Ramala Seva Labhi Senara Seva Sukhi Magnara Hasada Krishna Para. Such a man, being fully devoted to Sri Sri Radha Krishna Yugal Kishore, and having attained their Amal Prem Seva, remains forever merged in the bliss of such immaculate loving service. So this is an eternal state of consciousness for the jiva, to endeavor wholeheartedly for his entire life to attain this. And all the path is clearly delineated within this Jaiva Dharma. So now we're coming to chapter 19, and we're up to page 434. We chanted this beautiful verse last on Tuesday. Klesh Agni Shubhada Moksha Lokhuta Krit Sudurlabha Sandrananda Visheshatma Sri Krishna Akashani Chasa. We chanted this verse last time, and previous to this we had been introduced to what is the description of an Uttam Bhakta, and this is capsulated in the verse Anyabilasita Shunyam. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's walking us through these elementary, basically, precepts of what is Shuddha Bhakti. And of course now Vijay Kumar, the uncle of Brajanath, has joined us in the pastimes, and he's inquiring about this Shuddha Bhakti. So this chapter is entitled Abhideya Tattva. It's the what is the method to achieve this Amal Prem Seva, this Nitya Dharma. So we've discussed already this Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha Lokhuta Krit, Sudurlabha, Sandra Ananda, Visheshatma, Prem, Shri Krishna Akashani Chasa. And I described that these are the 3 descriptions of Sadhan Bhakti, Bhav Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. Sadhan Bhakti is Kleshagni Shubhada. This is Sadhan Bhakti. And then the next couplet is moksha lakuta krit sudurlabha. This is bhav bhakti. This is a very powerful um, um, description. It's when you look on mukti as being completely insignificant. That means I'm not looking for any liberation from this material world. This is not my focus or intention at all. I simply want to find that current of bhakti, that current of devotion to the Supreme Lord, which is inherent within me already. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavsa sadhanabhida nitya siddhyasya. We'll discuss this verse in a minute also, the same verse. So we'll carry on reading now from page 434 after the description of this kleshagni. And now we're going to unpack this verse basically. So Vijay is asking now, how does, Vijay is older of course than Brajanath, more mature devotee. So his questions are coming from a deeper perspective. So Vijay asks, how does bhakti destroy distress? Beautiful question. Babaji, there are three kinds of klesh, distress. Sin itself, pap, sin in its seed form, papa bij, and ignorance, avidya. So papa bij, and avidya. Sinful activity is classified as pratak, sinful, pataka, mahapatak, very sinful, and atipatak, extremely sinful. All these are considered pap. This is sin. We're talking about kleshagni. What are the sins that are incinerated by the potency of bhakti? People in whose hearts Shuddha Bhakti has manifested are naturally not inclined to become involved in sinful activities, pap. The desire to commit sins, which is called papa bij, cannot remain in a heart filled with bhakti. Avidya means ignorance of one's spiritual identity. When Shuddha Bhakti first dawns within the heart, the jiva understands very clearly, I am a servant of Krishna. Jivara Sarupoi Krishna. We're saying constantly through these previous chapters that the principal teaching is to realize I am anuchit and Krishna is vibhuchit. Krishna is the supreme, complete, and I am very much an infinitesimal part, and my swarup is to serve that supreme. That's all. That's the entirety of a whole philosophy basically. But we have to go through many areas to pacify our intelligence and intellect, etc., to feel completely comfortable with this whole very humble conception, because we think materially being the servant is an inferior position, but being the servant of the Supreme is the most superior, highest position. But we have to purify the darkness of the material contamination to realize that first. When Shuddha Bhakti first dawns within the heart, the jiva understands very clearly, I am a servant of Krishna. I am a servant of Krishna. And ignorance disappears altogether. This means that as Bhakti Devi, the goddess of Bhakti, spreads her effulgence, the darkness of papa bij, and avidya are expelled from one's heart. On the auspicious arrival of bhakti, all sorts of distress go far away. That is why bhakti is klesh agni. Understand? Very simple, but beautiful to hear it again and to remember these truths. Babaji, Vijay, how is bhakti subhada? Shubhada. That means auspicious. Babaji, in this world, all types of affection, all good qualities, and all the different types of pleasures are considered shubha, auspicious. One in whose heart pure bhakti has manifested is endowed with four qualities: humility, compassion, freedom from pride, and giving honor to others. These are the four qualities of Trinadapi Sunichena, that's humility. Tarorapi Suhishena, that's compassionate. Amanina, that's freedom from pride. Amanina Manadena, That's giving honor to everyone. Amadena, giving honor to everyone. So those 4 qualities are in that shlok of Shikshastikam. For this reason, the whole world bestows affection upon them. All kinds of sadgunas are automatically manifest in Shuddha Bhaktas. If you meet someone who's got some genuine, even a little bit of genuine humility, everyone is attracted to him, because the conditioned soul is very much engrossed in his own worth, his own reputation, his own accomplishments, his own pride, etc. But if we meet someone who's actually humble, then they bring tremendous joy to the heart in everybody. Everybody becomes satisfied because they're not feeling any, pressure from that person. They're feeling, they're not challenged by that person in any way. So that's a very auspicious experience for the jiva when he meets a genuine, humble person. All kinds of sadgunas, the material modes, are automatically manifest in Shuddha Bhakti. Pure qualities, all kinds of pure qualities, sadgunas, are automatically manifest in Shuddha Bhaktas, pure qualities. When we recognize people's pure qualities, we feel very enlivened in their company. Bhakti is capable of giving all kinds of pleasure. If one desires, she can give material enjoyment, the happiness of merging into the impersonal Brahm, Nirvishesh Brahm Shuka, all kinds of mystical powers, siddhis, sense gratification and liberation. All of these are at the fingertips of those pure bhaktas. So there's always going to be a challenge, even when you purify your conditioned consciousness and you come to this stage of bhakti, then you have the allurements of various material acquisitions, Taranga Rangini, the beautiful attractions of bhakti. So the sadhak has to be very much in the association of pure Vaishnavas to be guided through those pitfalls that can happen at that time. Vijay, how does bhakti make even the pleasure of impersonal liberation seem insignificant? Moksha lokhuta krit. This is a very important one. Babaji, if even a little love for the Supreme, Bhagavat Rati, has manifested in one's heart, dharma, religion, artha, economic development, karma, sense gratification, and moksha, liberation, naturally appear insignificant. Of course they appear insignificant to that person who has developed, just like Dhruva Maharaj. He wanted a kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather. And as soon as he had darshan of Krishna, all of those desires disappeared. So there are many examples in Shastra of this. Vijay, and why is it said that bhakti is rarely achieved, Sudurlabha? Babaji, this matter should be understood carefully. Bhakti will remain elusive so long as one performs devotional service improperly. Even if one engages in millions of different spiritual practices sudden. Apart from that, Bhaktidev satisfies the majority of people with only impersonal liberation. This is what most people are seeking. She does not give bhakti unless she sees that the practitioner is highly qualified. It is for these two reasons that bhakti is rarely achieved. Rarely achieved. My Gurudev says this many times, that we should constantly be seeking those qualified Vaishnavas who have come beyond this stage of any material desires here. And then they can guide us confidently. The sadhana of cultivating jnana definitely leads one to liberation in the form of merging into the non-dual Brahm, which is the very form of knowledge. It is also, which is the very form of knowledge. We know that we have this verse, what is it? Vedanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmati paramatmati bhagavan iti shabite. So in the Brahman that's described here, this contains two qualities of vairagya and knowledge. These two qualities are there within the Brahman, and there is no existence within the Brahman. There is no sandini. It is only this chit that is there, just knowledge and vairagya. So this is the condition in the Brahma Jyoti, knowledge and vairagya. And in that place, it's described that it's just simply shantaras, neutrality, no sambandha. So this is the place of Nirvishesh Brahm. And the devotee wants to diligently avoid that place, just like Gop Kumar when he's traveling through the different planetary systems and he comes to this kingdom of liberation, and Lord Shivji has to come with a big Sankirtan party and tell him, quickly get out of here, otherwise you'll get attracted to this place. The sadhan for cultivating Gyan definitely leads one to liberation in the form of merging into the non-dual Brahm, which is the very form of knowledge. That's what I've just described. It's the very form of knowledge, the chit potency there. It is also easy to get material sense gratification by performing pious deeds like yajna and other such activities. There are many people, they perform yajnas all their lives and they get great auspicious returns and rewards for that, but they're being cheated of the fifth purusartha and other activities. However, if one does not practice bhakti yoga, one cannot achieve bhakti to Sri Hari, even by performing millions of spiritual practices. There are so many practices described in Shastra. We must stay very close to the guidance of Sadguru. He's navigating us through this. This is essential. Vijay, why has bhakti been described as the superlative form of bliss? Sandar Ananda Visheshatma. Babaji, bhakti is eternal spiritual happiness, and that is why the performance of bhakti places one in an ocean of bliss. If one combines all the different types of worldly material pleasure, adds the pleasure of merging into Brahm, which is the negation of this material world, and multiplies it all 10 millions of times, the resultant pleasure still cannot compare to a single drop of the ocean of bliss of devotional service. Very beautiful progression there. Material pleasures are utterly trivial, and the pleasure that appears by negating material pleasures, mukti, is very dry. Both these pleasures are different in nature from the bliss of the spiritual world. We had this discussion in the very beginning when Sannyasi Thakur, he's asking this Advaita Siddhi. Is Advaita Siddhi the same as Prem? And then it's been described there, the distinction between Advaita Siddhi and Prem. Advaita Siddhi is like one, Advaita, not two. There's no dynamic of affection or attraction, of reciprocation, of love between them. But Prem is about serving the reciprocation, or serving the Prem between Radha and Krishna. So it's a completely different consideration. One cannot compare two things that are altogether different in character. Therefore, those who have developed some taste for the bliss of performing bhakti find the pleasure of merging into Nirvishesh Brahm to be as insignificant as the water in a cow's hoofprint. Only those who have experienced this pleasure can understand it. Others cannot grasp or discuss it. We are begging, praying for the mercy to realize a single drop of devotion. A single drop of devotion in this life is going to inspire my heart far away from this Nirvishesh Brahm or any other sort of material bliss. It's only this bliss of seva, pure seva, that I'm hankering for. And one must be very greedy, we must have this lobha, this enthusiasm, otherwise it won't happen. Vijay, how does bhakti attract the all-attractive Sri Krishna? Sri Krishna Akashani. Babaji, Sri Krishna, together with all his loved ones, becomes forcibly attracted and controlled by a person within whose heart Bhakti Devi has appeared. Krishna cannot be controlled or attracted by any other means. It's only by bhakti. Shuddha bhaktyamam abhijananti yavan yaschasmi tatvataha. Tato mam tatvato natva vishate tat anantaram. Krishna is saying at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, I'm only attained by devotional service. This pure bhakti, this Shuddha bhakti, nothing else. And that will only come from those who have that Shuddha bhakti. I can only acquire that from those who have it. Or those, even madhyams, who are serious on the path to achieve that. Then that mercy will come. Vijay, if bhakti is so sublimely potent, why do those who study many shastras not try to achieve her? Babaji, bhakti and Sri Krishna are beyond all material boundaries. So human intelligence cannot teach them because it is gross and limited. I'll read it again. Bhakti and Sri Krishna are beyond all material boundaries. So human intelligence cannot reach them. Human intelligence is what is gross and limited. However, one can easily understand the essence of devotional service, bhakti tattva, if he has developed even a slight taste by the influence of pious deeds accumulated in the past. No one but the most fortunate jivas can understand bhakti tattva. By the influence of our pious deeds, it will bring us into sadhu sangha. That will be the result of our pious deeds. Vijay, why does material logic carry no weight? Babaji, logic does not have the qualities necessary for understanding spiritual pleasure. It is said, Naisha tarakena matir apanye, proktanye naiva su janaya preshta. Kata Upanishad 129. My dearest Nichiketa, it is not proper to use argument to destroy the wisdom of the absolute truth that you have received. Argument means the intellect, the rationale. Bhakti is beyond this. Then it is also said, Taraka Pratishtanat. Logic is useless for establishing any vastu, real substance, because what one person establishes by logic and argument today, a more expert logician can refute tomorrow. Vedanta Sutra 2.1.11. That is why it is said that logic carries no respect. All these statements of the Vedanta establish that logic cannot explain spiritual matters. Okay, now the next question, we'll stop here, but the next question is, Brajanath now is asking, is there any stage of bhakti between sadhan bhakti and prema bhakti? So now we're going to hear something of bhav bhakti, and we'll hear this tomorrow. So, Jaiva Dhamma ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Shuddha Bhakti ki jai, Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Gauda Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Ki Jai, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Vansha Kalpa, Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bevacha, Patitanam Bhavnivyo, Vaishnavi Namo Maha.